What is up, everybody? How's your day going? We're going to talk about a subject that I was going to avoid, but then I thought I had like an appropriate and kind of balanced discussion I wanted to have on this. Only because I have some proximity to both Jake and Nick, and so I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Um, and before, even though everything I have to say is positive and I have like good things to contribute here, um, it's weird that I have to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Do not send hate or harm to any of these creators by any means. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna say good things, but I wanted to get that out of the way first. So first off, the one thing that I wanted to talk about here. First off, I think we'll talk about the Nick apology because I think people should be using that as a template and as a way to apologize on the internet. I think that was a very well done apology for the record. I haven't really seen too many YouTuber apologies that have been that good, to be quite honest. And where I wanted to chime in here is I've actually had the opportunity to meet Nick on a couple different occasions. The first time I ever chatted with him was, I guess, sort of parasocially through his Twitch streams when he first started on YouTube. And I remember back then when he started on YouTube, thinking that I was like, holy crap, he's like super cool guy. He's had like funny moments and stuff like that. So I was always tuning into his streams. And then one of the streams, I think we like followed each other on Instagram. And so we had a couple back and forths. And I was like, cool, he's a good guy or whatever. And I got to meet him eventually. Like the last two, I actually saw him recently. And then I saw him again a year ago now, a little bit over a year ago. And the interactions I've had with him have all been very positive. When you meet him in person, he's got a lot of good character to him. He's a fun person to be around. He's not the kind of person to like blow you off. Wait, they broke up. Huh? Wait, who are you talking? Oh, you're talking about the Ace family? Yeah. I'll get into that. I'll get into the Ace family situation. I'm starting from the top here. Yeah, it's kind of crazy Ace family broke up. But anyway, so yeah, in the interactions I've had with him, he's never been the kind of person to like want to like cut you short or anything like that. Super friendly dude. Another thing I wanted to chime in on this particular thing. I think he did a really good job of, and I think if you're watching this and you've clicked on this, you've already seen his apology. I'd be pretty shocked. Maybe you watch me and maybe you just don't watch Nick and maybe you just haven't seen the apology. And in that case, I can pull it up for you. Let's see here. I can pull a little bit of it up here in case you haven't seen it. This is the oops, wrong video. I was watching Mika's video. I don't know why that just came up. Let's see if I can fix this though. Mika SF is a great creator. If you guys want to watch Mika SF, highly recommend Mika's videos. All right, and let's cut over to it. So this was the video that Nick put out. It says, I make harmful content that needs to change. And I don't need to watch the whole thing, but there's a very like overwhelmingly positive response in the comments here, which I think is a good thing. It's definitely nice to see that, especially I think it's well deserved. He spent a whole month off of YouTube and had this apology, 12-minute video. I'll play like the first little bit of it so you can get a flavor of it in case you haven't seen it for some reason.
I made regarding Super Mega. If you're unsure about what happened, I'm going to be talking about a lot of my specific actions in this video, but if you want a more detailed overview, I would watch this video by Unpoetic Justice that summarized and documented a lot of what happened since July. I'm going to be linking that video in the description. For the past 6 months, I have been defending myself against criticism for how I used my platform in a series of videos I made attacking Matt Watson and Ryan McGee of Super Mega. I stubbornly persisted and posted videos thinking that I was somehow the victim in this drama that was stoked by YouTubers that friends of mine had a bad experience with. In December, I decided to take a step back from posting videos, and over the span of the last month or so, I have slowly processed and realized just how wrong I really am. And the realization of being ignorant and immature and dangerous throughout the course of this whole thing has...
And this is another part of it that I wanted to chime in that I think goes forgotten online oftentimes. And this is not by any means to take the whole situation and say that, it was okay because of this. But I think an important thing to remember all along when you look at an apology video such as this one, and you see, obviously, like I said, the overwhelmingly positive replies, is that you can't ever forget that, people do have their own real life outside of making content. And people, what they put on the internet is not oftentimes fully reflective of who they are in person. But all that to say that it is very nice that he did come back and apologize about this whole thing. It was definitely a little bit, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It was hard to see. Not hard to see. It was kind of hard to take all this in as it was happening. And there was what, I think 2 other apologies before this. And so it was just, the whole thing just was getting crazy. There were people in everybody's comments talking about it. It was going crazy, but he did give literally the best apology. Honestly, in the age of media, is commendable, even if owning up your mistakes really be this whole thing to applaud. Actually apologize and not pretend that everything's fine. Yeah, he did a good job of that. He didn't pretend anything. He didn't make up anything or try to defend himself. He did the perfect opposite of defending himself in this, if anything.
Not actually been a unique experience for me. This situation followed patterns of past behavior that are rooted in my character and how I respond to criticism from other people. And I realized that I'm not really getting hate because of the content I make or because of the audience that I have or because everyone else is wrong. I got all this criticism because I was wrong. When I initially started receiving criticism for these...
And I'll say it right there. It is very hard to admit that you are wrong. I will 100% say that. I think we've all been there. If you've been through the course of your life, I think we've all at one point or another been in the wrong and been afraid to say that we're wrong. I'd be shocked if there's people that just have never experienced that. And I think it's the next level harder when you're online and in front of what he had 600, I think 700,000 subscribers he had at one point, or maybe 720K or something like that. So when you have that big of an audience that you now have to apologize to, it's tough. It's really hard. So I commend him for getting in front of the camera and talking about this and admitting to it. It's hard enough just to come right to the camera and admit to, or not to the camera, to go up to a person in real life and admit you're wrong. I mean, that's a hard thing in and of itself, but to have to deliver that to that many people, it takes a lot. So I do commend that.
These videos, I really only saw the most aggressive and the most extreme reactions to what I did, and I immediately ignored it and turned away from it. And not just those comments, but from people who are actual fans of mine who were worried about what I was doing. I would see certain content creators making countless videos against me who I didn't like, and I would not take it seriously at all. I would see discuss...
And tell you the truth, I saw a lot of these videos floating around after the situation rolled out. Like, there was like a sensitive society video. There was like a Turkey Tom video. There was actually the first video that I actually saw was the video he linked right here, the Unpoetic Justice video. I saw that, and like, for some reason, even though I knew like the situation was completely screwed up, even I myself was like almost having a hard time like wanting to like watch those videos. But because I saw this video by Unpoetic Justice first, which Nick linked.
Everyone is different.
Oh my God, not an ad. But I don't need to play this video. I just want to quickly show this video. But Unpoetic Justice, you can see, talked about this whole situation, which, you know, that was a really good video on it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's really, I don't know. It's just cool to see him. Let me see.
Comments, but from people who are actual fans of mine who were worried about what I was doing. I would see certain content creators making countless videos against me who I didn't like, and I would not take it seriously at all. I would see disgusting comments about me and my friends, and I would turn away from it and refuse to give it any validity, and I would keep working through it and doing my job as if I had nothing to apologize about. I wouldn't watch the videos, I wouldn't read any of the comments. It took way too long for me to realize that not only was I wrong about the way that I have used my platform over the past few months, but a lot of the people who I shat on, who made...
Yeah, and one of the things that Nick talks about, I think once or twice in this video, as he just said, like, people that he shat on, like, there were a couple of videos on his channel that I remember people really attacking him in the comments, and I remember I went back and watched a couple of those videos again, only to find out that these people were actually mad because of, like, you know, some of the people's like personal issues within the videos that he was talking about, and things that were just out of people's control that were in these videos. And he addresses that. He addresses that. He talks about it right here. I think he mentions those videos.
J-pop idol group video.
So it was these ones right here, the YouTuber breakup, the Love Surge video. I'm glad he like put this one here. That's the re-upload. This drama video. Yeah, and I think another thing too, as someone who also holds down like a, you know, as someone who holds down a semi-mini drama channel, it sometimes does get hard to not let your own personal biases get in the way of drama, because I mean, drama is the thing you get invested in. It's hard to not want to like throw your 10 cents in there, and I think it's important to be constantly learning about a situation before diving into it. So that's why I've kind of been not posting as frequently myself. I'm not saying that to make it sound like I'm the good guy or anything. That's just kind of what I've taken from this situation. That was what I kind of sat back and learned. That, you know, another creator's videos I've been watching is Nick's brother, Austin Green. I think I brought him up a couple times in my lives here, but his videos are very well scripted, very well thought out. And he posts, I don't know, I don't know how often he posts, like a couple times a month or something like that. And yeah, they're very like well put together videos, which is something that I aim to do on this channel. But going back to this, let's play out a little bit more of this video real quick.
My Love Surge video, my video about that couple breaking up. Even more of my videos have received
my favorite green is Tom. What's up, Silver House?
Promoting hate towards people who do not deserve it, and for that I am deeply sorry. I know that I've been defensive in the past when people have criticized my channel for having opinions that are too surface level or making videos with not enough effort. People were hurt by what I was saying and what I was making, and regardless of my intent, I chose to ignore these people and to continue making my content, and for that, I am sorry. I had my sights on making my videos efficiently and consistently without putting the proper care that is required for the kind of audience that I have. My priorities were on my growth and my income, and that drive caused me to forget about everything else that was going on around me so I could feel better about myself.
And I think that's really, really cool to see him admit to that, because a lot of these things too, I have to say this, and I feel like I haven't seen many people talk about this, but when you are a content creator, and you see numbers go up and you see your money go up, you start seeing what's doing well for you, and you slowly lose sight of like the actual thing that you came to the platform for at first, if that makes any sense. Like, you'd be making videos a little differently if it weren't for like the numbers going up, if that makes any sense. And by that I mean, like, if he sees that he's able to make X video about, this niche of person, then you're going to keep making those. And if you keep making more money on it, you're like, well, this very thing is making me more money and making my views and subscribers go up. You're going to do that as a creator as you are trying to grow. Like, when you're making content, you're constantly trying to grow. You're trying to get to the next thing of subscribers, 600,000, 700,000, 800, and hit 1 million. And YouTube has its way of trying to get you to get there, right? They want people to be like growing creators on their platform. And so when you're in the sauce of that, and not only that, but like, obviously, I mean, just Nick, Nick very much like everyone else, has stuff he's got to pay for. And so when you're seeing like, your money go up, you're gonna do the thing that helps you get your money up. And you lose sight. You lose sight of what, is the important thing at the end of the day, which is your audience and what your audience came to you for in the first place. So I think, it seems that in this apology, he does right there, and that was the last thing we were just watching. He like apologizes for that.
And so this video is not only a statement and an apology, but it is a public commitment to using my platform in a way that is constructive and has integrity. I personally do not believe that commentary or critique videos are inherently harmful. I know plenty of content creators who do what I do in a good way, but the way that I was making content was absolutely harmful. It was careless, and it is not up to the standards that I want to set for myself moving forward. My content has lacked the care needed to deliver personal opinions that are educated and thorough, and I continually prioritize.
My. What's up, Max? Speaking of money, you're a future king, pal. Love the channel. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. That's really nice of you. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for being here. So, yeah, Nick then later in this video goes on. I did pre-watch this. Nick later goes on to apologize to victims, and he apologized to Ryan and what's his name of the two Super Mega dudes. He apologizes directly to. He does his due diligence in this video. Again, I already mentioned, if you want to go watch this, I would suggest that you go watch the whole video on Nick's channel while he talks about it. So this is, if you ever go to apologize on the internet about something, you should definitely use this as an example. I think Nick, being a content creator, having seen other people's apologies on the internet that he's also reacted to in the past, I think he's seen plenty of examples of bad apologies. We've all had our goofs and gaffes at like insane apologies that are just, completely wrong in the past. So it's good that he's like finally come to this terms and seen his faults of the matter. I'm happy to see what he has to put out next. The one thing that I do get, and I don't know why I'm like this is like his own thing. But I'm just interested to see like, because I think he mentions like changing his content. So I'm just random question, but is it snowing where you are? Yeah, it is big time. It came down a ton today. I'm in Chicago, so if you're anywhere near there, you probably got it. But yeah, I just think that, I'm excited to see what he puts out next. I know that's gonna be kind of hard on him. He probably didn't. Last time we saw snow was 20. What? No way. That must be nice. I assume you're out like west or something, or maybe way out northwest. I don't know. You don't have to say it, but that's. I'm excited to see what Nick puts out next. Oh, you're south. I'm excited to see what Nick puts out next. I know it's going to be probably a little hard on him to figure out what it is he's going to put out next. So it may or may not take him a while. That's all just me, making a guess. We'll see. We'll see what Nick does put out going forward. Overall, it's just great to see someone. I am a firm believer. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm a firm believer in like people making mistakes and growing from their mistakes, and I think this perfectly points to that. I think oftentimes on the internet we hold a lot of people like permanently accountable for things that they don't necessarily deserve to be held permanently accountable, and by that I mean you can still remember the things they've done, but if you've seen them make a personal move towards growth and seen them like become a better creator through these things, I think you can definitely, firm believer, so firm. Yeah, I want to make that clear though. I think, if you show growth, and you can continue to help those around you, then, you've done the right thing. It's when you don't show any growth and you're still beating people down after this and you're still not showing change, then that's when it becomes like harmful towards others around you, and you might need to, seek further assistance from that point on, because that's not for me to discuss. But he did the right thing after all. It's really refreshing, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. And I for the record, I don't want anyone to comment. I could easily see someone going, "Oh yeah, you just know him, so you're siding with him, or you're this, or people, oh, you're dick riding, or I don't know what the argument's gonna be, but these are all things that I would tell Nick face to face if I saw him in real life, too, and I'm sure he'd appreciate it. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I did go into the Reddit because I know that's where a lot of the comments were like insane, like so insane that people were like literally like sending threats in there and stuff, which is what you should not do in these circumstances. You can tell the creator that they're in the wrong for sure, but you should not send threats. And Reddit actually was like taken down for a while because of that. But on Reddit, I went in there today and I read through the comments. It seems like everyone, like across the board, and even Reddit, people are like, "Oh yeah, he did the right thing." Like I saw one or two people in there being like, "Oh, he didn't apologize still," and they're just people that simply didn't watch the video. I saw that on Twitter today too. People were commenting. They were like I saw like in particular, it was like a Destiny fan comment and be like, he didn't do it," and it was like the first comment below it had like 50 updates. It was like, you didn't watch the video. So I would highly suggest that you go and watch the video. Now, next topic. Adam McIntyre kind of scratched on this one a little bit, and he's the only one that's had a similar perspective as I have on this whole situation. But I want to talk about the Jake Doolittle situation. Now, to preface this, Jake is someone that I've actually worked with in capacity in a couple times. The first time I got to work with Jake, actually, so you can see right here this video. See if I can move it over a little bit, because I know my camera's kind of blocking it. Oh, let's see here. This is I don't know why it won't. This is my podcast channel. Let's see if I can pull it back up. And if I don't know why it's hidden. Okay, there it is. I did a podcast with Jake over here. And Jake is a photographer. Not only did I do a podcast with Jake, but I edited the not first 2 videos on his channel, but some of his first commentary videos that he didn't directly edit himself, showing Curtis Connor my favorite TikToks, and Trish Talks Would Change My Life, and Nickisnotgreen. I edited those. I might have done these TikTokers Need to Stop, maybe not. I can't remember if I did 2 or 3 of them. I definitely did these. I definitely edited these 2 videos, and I'm actually very thankful that I got to edit those videos for Jake. I'm very fortunate that he's given me the opportunity to do that. I was, it was during COVID, and I think it might have been I don't know. I think it just might have been either someone or maybe he found my account. So it was just kind of caught me by surprise. And then I met Jake, and that's when we did that podcast. And I'm going to be honest, outside of the podcast, we chatted on Zoom for a little bit. We chatted when we were doing the editing. He's very nice to work with. We had a conversation about his photography. He's a great photographer. And you can see this video right here. How I took photos for Billie Eilish. So he's not just a nobody either, you know what I mean? He's taken photos over here for Billie Eilish. So I mean that's in the photo world of things, it's pretty huge. When you get in a position to take a photo for a photographer that big. And I think that I thought that was really cool. And so, yeah, he's an overall, and I think Adam scratched on this part of it, but I wanted to use, my experiences first to kind of back that up. But Adam scratched on how he worked with Jake and had a video with Jake, and they did, a James Charles video, and they both had some laughs and things like that, and that he was very sweet to Adam as well. So, after all, from, the experiences I've had with Jake and based on his character, this is another one of these similar situations as Nick, in a sense that he's a sweetheart at the end of the day. Jake means very well. And I know saying this stuff right now after the H3 thing, seems as if it comes off as oh, it's just defense or just copium or whatever it is. But I want to make that clear because I know deep down he's probably now feeling the after effects of this H3 situation. I would imagine that potentially, depending on whatever else, he may or may not make another video apologizing about it or something. I don't know. I can't predict the future. I do find this rather. It was just found it rather interesting that he got in this situation, because I think when I first saw the video, my first thought was oh yeah, he means well. He was just trying to I think what he was trying to get across, if I really read into it the right way, was that people in general shouldn't be using a serious health condition to profit off of, or they shouldn't be making insensitive jokes about health conditions, because he was basing it maybe off of his own experience with Lyme disease. And maybe this video was coming out in ways of things that he's felt in the past. And what I really know about this is that he meant well at the end of the day. I would have never expected that Jake Doolittle of all you. I know. And I was gonna avoid talking about it because of my proximity to him. And I kind of just wanted to make this talking about it because I just didn't ever think he would be in drama of all people. Like it was quite frankly like he seemed like the embodiment of chill. I know. And then here's another thing I wanted to talk about. So this is the same topic, but Jake made a second channel. Let's see if I can. I don't know why I can't find it. I think it was called Jake Doolittle. Right? Jake Doolittle. Second channel? Is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, it's called Jake Doolittle More. Okay. So Jake made, let's see. Jake made this video right here. I think it was this video right here, Forgive Me, or Where Do We Go From Here? Oh, I should scroll up so you guys can see those. It was Forgive Me or Where Do We Go From Here? And the thing that he brought up in these videos, I don't need to like watch it with you guys. I'm pretty sure it was the Forgive Me one, but he brought up in a situation where he went to show, or someone in his family or someone had asked about. I should move my camera. It feels like I'm. There we go. Now I feel like I'm talking to my camera again. He brought up a situation where someone in his family or someone was asking him what he does on YouTube, and he was talking about how he felt like embarrassed about it. And I mean, I get it, and I also don't. I do feel I felt really bad when I watched that video. Just because like you said, he's a chill guy. And I think he just felt like embarrassed because one thing he scratched on was how he wanted to make like better content going forward on his like main channel. And where I'm going with this is after he said that, there was like the Drew Gooden video. Let me go to his channel so that I don't like butcher this. I feel like there was one more video I'm not saying right now. There was, let's see. Here we go. So we talked about making better content, and he made this video, the Crashing in Kids Bop concert with Drew Gooden. And this was a fun video. It was a little bit like vlog-esque, but he was like out, and he had like a cool mission to go like to this Kids Bop thing, and the whole like never stop thing in the shirt. I don't know. It was a fun video. You can go watch it on your own if you want to watch it. And so I was like, cool, he's off to a good start. And then I don't know if the short is still here. Okay, maybe it's gone. But yeah, he then went and then put the Ethan video up after that, which is why I'm bringing this up, is because I think in his mind, he was under the impression that, this was also going to be like a video that would help people. Because he mentioned in a live stream, or if not on the live stream, somewhere on the internet at least, he was like, even if this video helps like 10 people, that's enough for me, or something like that. And so I know at the end of the day, he came out with like intentions to help people. And because of the nature of how the video rolled out, that there was things that were brought up in the H3 video that I think have now caused, I think this kind of was like an attack on both sides, where it was like people might have got mad at Ethan, but then people are also now more mad at Jake since it's on H3, and the H3 got more views than his video did. So I'm gonna assume, rightfully so, that I think he's probably getting a lot of hate right now. And I feel really bad about that because he even put up a thing, said he was in the hospital like the day before this, the day before the video came out. And I don't know, I feel bad. I feel like he's dealing with a lot right now, and probably the most criticism he's ever gotten the internet. And I think he kind of knew it walking in. He mentioned it, I think, again in a live stream, if I'm not mistaken, that he said this could either be like the best video, or I think he might have even said himself it could ruin his career or something. He said something in that line of things, which is another thing I didn't see people talking too much about. I was a participant in a lot of his live streams. I've donated to him a few times in his streams to, help his never stop, and help out like the membership and all that jazz. I think he's a cool guy. I think he does have a lot of, I think he's got like, some good videos he's capable of making. I don't think he's not capable of that, which is cool. And I know that down the road, he's going to make some like better content. And I don't know. It's just this whole thing is just a little bit of it's kind of, and not to make this be like an on to me thing. This is not a me thing at all. But can you kind of see now how like it was like this situation, and then now I feel better after the Nick situation now, but both of those were kind of like in a little bit weighing on me, because I was kind of like, it kind of stunk, man. It kind of was like, once I saw the H3 react and saw, heard Jake talk about like response he was getting and all that, it just I don't know. It made me feel bad, and I'm again not saying all this to say that like, because the points at the end of the day, the points Jake brought up in the video, there were things that were debunked, and so I think it's one of those things where it's like, he said this, now H is going to respond and rightfully so say this kind of thing. Now, I'm not even watching. I'm not going to even go through the H3 thing. There's plenty of videos like Mika's rhetoric. Like, there's plenty of like react videos to it. Mika's rhetoric right here. Super cool channel. She did a little thing talking about it. There's like, I don't need to bring up other videos, but you can just go watch the H3 video, react to it if you want to see it. But yeah, just, I don't know. It just, the whole thing was kind of bizarre. And one of the interesting things about it, really, and I think here, I'll actually, instead of me talking about it, I'll put you in the right place here. So I think Adam McIntyre made a pretty good video on it. So that's another video that I'd suggest if you want to check out the situation. Made a very like fair video, without sending any hate or anything like that. As Adam has also worked with Jake. And I do hope that, I do hope the best for Jake. I hope that he's kind of learned from this situation. It was a little bit alarming that, in the situation that AB had reached out to him and like was kind of like, hey, probably not a good idea, buddy, and posted it anyway. And to that, I wanted to say that there's a part of me that, and by no means am I saying Jake is this, but as someone who's like a fellow neurodivergent, you kind of tend to go against the norm. And sometimes it feels like, you ever heard the thing that's like when people are like, oh yeah, just because someone's saying to not do it doesn't mean you shouldn't, or whatever, you know what I mean? And I know that's very like applies to very particular situations and not every situation, but at some point in your life you've probably heard someone say that, don't let someone else's opinions get in the way of what you do, or things along those lines. I'm sure it kind of like rolled out that way in his head, and he thought, nah, I don't need to, he just thought he didn't need to listen to what they're saying, just do it anyway. So I do actually kind of like understand that train of thought, as far as like why he posted it. But The video's down now. The video's down now on his end. I think it's good that he took it down. Probably was getting like an overwhelming amount of hate. I can't imagine like the comments he'd be getting at this point after the H3 React. So that's really all I wanted to talk about with this. Hopefully that kind of sums things up. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about, I have a freaking dude. We got a loaded live stream tonight. Should we talk about real quick? Let's see who's. I want to see who's in chat right now. Okay, we got a few people in here. So let's talk about the Ace family. Let's see if I can even find the frickin' Ace families. Dude, I so loaded up the Ace family's Instagram before I got on here, and now it just like disappeared on me. So let's see, I'll just search it real quick and then we'll bring it right up. Ace family. So here we go. Alrighty, let's talk about it. By the way, too, I need to say this before I move on to the Ace family. If you do choose to watch the Adam or Mika video on the Jake situation, please do not send any further hate or any harm or anything his way. He's probably getting it bad enough right now. Poor dude doesn't deserve it. He may not even be on the internet at the moment. I don't know. But yeah, please be safe with the situation. Now, the Ace family. 948. I don't know why I felt like I had to. The Ace family divorce was shocking. I remember a few streams ago when you were talking about family channels. Oh my God, that's a good memory. Wow. That's a good memory. Yeah, I was talking about family channels. Did they take? Oh, maybe it was Austin McBroom. I think it was on Austin's like. Let's see, Austin McBroom. Okay, I think it was Austin's. Let's see here. Yeah, dude, family channels have been very interesting, in my personal opinion. Let's see here. Let's pull this up. I don't know. And you know what's so crazy, real quickly, before I talk about this, to kind of add into my family channels thing, I've asked like normies out in public what they think about family channels. And like most normies you talk to out in public, like none of them are like, oh yeah, they're cool. Everyone is like, wait, people put their kids on the internet? Or they're like, the other response is usually like, wait, that's a thing? Like even normies are like, I feel like you overwork yourself into posting content. You have to act happy. Can be really stressful on a family. Yes, that comment. Overwork yourselves into posting content where you have to act happy can be really stressful on a family. Yes, and to that, real quickly, I say, I kind of scratched in that my new Colleen video where Colleen was even being like, and this is probably the last I'll talk about Colleen. I'm going to go on like a 30-second quick thing here and then I'll move on. Even in my Colleen video, I said that where it was like, she wanted to have time with her husband, but she like was using that time with her husband to be on a podcast and like make content to like be happy on the internet. And it was like, I kind of felt that comment you just said when she said that. But this is about the Ace family. So I don't know if you guys read this or not, but it says, for the new year, I'll be taking a leap of faith. I made the hard decision in my life. The decision was to close the book to my marriage. Oh, my instant reaction is the content wore down on them. Mutually agreed to divorce. We'll remain a team when it comes to our kids. Glad they got that out of the way early. They would have been freaking gone had they not said that soon. We created one of the greatest stories, almost a decade together. So many memories, so many accomplishments, but every book comes to an end. Now I'll be writing a new book as separate authors. We both understand that holding on is believing that there's only a past, and letting go is knowing that there's a future. And we're both supporting each other's future. That's nice. This transition is not easy, but we're both making it as easy as it can be for our family. We will continue to be the best parents to our kids. Separation is difficult, most times messy, but you will see how we push for these difficult times as a unit and keep influencing love and positivity. With that being said, 2024 will be life-changing for me, and I'll be dedicated to myself, my kids, my health, my body, my mind, and my spirit, and God. Thank you to everyone who supported us through our journey and will continue to support us moving forward. We need even more of your love and strength during this time. Which, to that, I think that's, I don't know. I honestly needed a drink of water. To that, I will say, I just think that's one of the more like appropriate things they've put on their channel. I don't know. Here was another wild revelation. Okay, I should probably record this. I should record this. So after this apology came out, Jesus, I can't even talk today. After this divorce came out, on the internet, there was some other things that surfaced. Well, I should say resurfaced, because they were things that were already there. But Austin McBroom was like doing some sort of business that involved OnlyFans girls, and he was like DMing them, and a lot of his like DMs with OnlyFans girls started to get exposed on the internet for a while. Like I remember seeing a bunch of threads of them like on Twitter. I think one of them hit Instagram at one point or another, maybe even a couple of them did. I'm gonna go to his tag post and see. Okay, nothing there, but he was like messaging OnlyFans girls, and initially people took that as like, they're like, oh, it must be like they're, because they kept talking about like the whole thing with the Ace families. They kept saying, oh, we have our new ventures. Like I think at times they were like doing things on Snapchat, and they were doing like other private businesses and etc. And I don't know if they ever made like Instagram posts about it, but I think they talked about it in their videos. And so everyone kind of wrote off their OnlyFans situation as like, oh, it's just another business venture for the both of them. And I just, when I saw that, I was kind of like, huh? Like, does that seem like, I mean, I guess as a couple that would be a business venture, but it definitely didn't like settle in my head the right way. It just seemed like it was one of those things that I soaked in. I like ate breakfast or whatever, and I sat there thinking about like, something doesn't seem right. It just didn't seem right. And yeah, and I think now that they've divorced, I think everyone's kind of like, oh, okay. So that kind of like put things into perspective. I think there was a channel actually, let me see here. Is it Spill Sesh? I think Spill Sesh may have scratched on this.
Hi, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook Promise.
Oh, Mark Barden at Sandy Hook. That's sad. Let me see here. So, yeah, before I get into that, but Spill Sesh properly put Catherine McBroom's statement on here. So Catherine said, as I start this new year, I will challenge myself in ways I have never done before 2024. 2024 will be my year of transformative change, and with this taking place, one of the steps of my journey is the difficult decision to leave my marriage. We mutually agreed to divorce and will part amicably, which is nice to hear. Our paths as a couple, I just learned that word amicably like within the last few months, which is bizarre. I don't know why it took me that long to learn that word. Our paths as a couple have shifted and created challenges that are irreconcilable. This decision comes with a very heavy heart. As heartbreaking as it is, I also feel liberated. That I found really interesting. And I'm happy for her. I think she deserves to feel that way. I don't think you should ever be in a relationship where you feel so tied down to someone that you can't be your own self and do your own thing. I think nowadays we get so caught up in like prioritizing someone else that you start to lose. It's kind of the same thing as I was talking about with like almost the same thing with the Nick video, where it's like you kind of get sight on one thing and you lose sight of the other thing. And I think that is what happened here. Just they both kind of like lost sight of their own lives. And she then felt like she couldn't be herself. And she had a lot going on too outside of that with the kids and everything. As heartbreaking as this is, I also feel liberated. I have spent the past few years prioritizing my children and honoring my commitment to my family. All the while, I seem to be losing myself in my own personal happiness. Let's see. Our main priority will be to stay united as parents and to continue creating as a stable, happy, and loving environment for our children. Thank you to all of my supporters for giving me a safe space to be able to use my voice and share our love. I love you all so much, and I'm beyond grateful for the support we received throughout these years as a couple, and also my best friend that will never change. And to this, I think very sweet messages from them both. I think these situations can often, let's see. My whole question about this divorce is what's going to happen to their channel? Like, are they going to make different channels and still post kids, or what's going on? That'll be my prediction. I assume they'll post on separate channels. It would be, I don't know, maybe Ace Family channel will like change. That's also a move I see creators do down the line, where people change the channel name and one of them takes it to be this, another one does that. Maybe they'll post on separate channels and just kind of let that channel go. I've also seen people let channels go. I think we'll find out in time. I think them posting about divorce online, and who knows? Maybe they're just not posting about the divorce. I don't know. Maybe they did divorce a while back, and this is just now getting on the internet, and it's one of those things where it's serious, so it's going to take a while to kind of roll itself out on the internet, for us to all find out what happens, and I guess it's a good thing that we don't know. We have to kind of figure out what's going to happen there with that. Now, I think, let's see here. Let me see if it's this point.
You guys get to watch it.
Put it this way.
Let's see.
We don't want to do this thing small and put it on YouTube. No offense to YouTube. But just by saying that, you guys know where we're trying to take this wedding. Okay?
Sorry to be so blunt, but I just feel like if you guys have been watching us and investing your time and loving us and supporting us for so many years, then I feel like you should be able to watch it live. Just saying.
Oh, man. So they were even, talking about their wedding at this point, too. Damn, man. This was, way back. Let me see where this went. Because this was, that's an old clip.
Couple of weeks, these two still have been posting each other on Snapchat though, so I don't think many fans really thought that this news was coming. Now, what I will say is that I think this could be a career rebirth for Catherine. I know divorces are hard and sad and obviously involve a lot of emotion and it is a sensitive subject, but truly, I do think that so many people would be willing to support Catherine online separated from Austin. Although she was involved in a lot of the Ace family drama, from the lies that they told to the scams, Austin's family was behind a lot of the deals, the contracts. I think Catherine really went along with everything. Still,
that is a point that is precisely why I played this. I do think he and his family had a huge influence on her, and like I said, she said she is going to feel liberated. I think she felt the opposite of that before, so she felt like she had to go along with what was being said and all sorts of things. I think, I'm not going to say everyone, but I think, I've been there personally. I know people that have also been there where you're kind of a, you're like an empath and you want to just go along to be the nice person in the situation. From what I've got from this situation so far is kind of, that's what I feel she is. And so now she gets to be her own person. So I think, let me just see here. Catherine McBroom. I think she has her own. Does she not have her own channel? I, for some reason, thought she had her own channel. Does she not? Oh. I guess she doesn't have her own channel. Or am I wrong on
Hey,
that?
Ace Family!
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, I think nonetheless, this is a good move. It'll just be interesting to see how like they both handle it. I think they both probably will take some time offline, spend it with their family and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, there's only so much I can say right now too. I don't want to. From this point, if I were to say anything more, I think it would just be like assumptions, and I don't want to go that route. I think it's one of those things we got to watch to see what actually happens. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about. Let's see if I can pull this up here. Maybe we'll watch the Curtis video too at the end of this stream. Curtis put out a new video, but I wanted to play this video because this girl was getting completely shit on Twitter. She was getting like so dunked on and shit on Twitter. And you may have already seen this. I went to TikTok to find the video. There's 1.1 million likes on it. It was this girl who works at Walmart put up this video. She said, "The world isn't what it was when you were starting out. Instead of dogging us for not wanting to work our lives away, take your position and experience to make a change for the better for your children. You've had 20 years of experience life, and that time you also completely liberated any chance for us to even start to have one." I think that's a very fair argument to make. So let's do this. Let's watch what she had to say in this TikTok together. Talk about it. This is like a typical like Gen Z millennial argument. Oh shoot, maybe I might have to like hit enter on it again.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own.
Yeah, and she's definitely talking about like right now and probably the last couple of years, and maybe even a little bit before that too. But it is like mind blowing, how insane the cost of rent is, the cost of just simply like food, day to day things. It's like insane, and the argument that I see even like people my age make on this, is oftentimes like people that come from places of like privilege that are unaware of like people struggling through this. And I also see people saying like, "Oh, you gotta be smart about your money. Why can't you be smart about your money?" And to that, it's silly. It's silly. So I'll just hear what.
20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do. Let me add another perspective here. You've been working for 20 years.
So, assuming, let's just do a quick thing. So, assuming, let's just see, we'll do the math here. So, if she does 40 hours a week, assuming assuming the pay there is like $12 an hour times 12. So, if you do, 40 times 7, 280 times 3, right? And then times 12. I think I did my math right? So if I do, I'll just assume she makes like $12 an hour, right? She's working 40, so if I do 12 times 40, no. Yeah, 12 times 40, let's see, 480, then that's a week, so then times that by 3 to get a month, right? And then times 12 or times 11? I think times 11, because that's 1 month. So that doesn't, like, that puts you, right? 15K-ish? Doesn't it? Maybe I did my math wrong. I might have done my math wrong. Someone correct me in the comments if I did my math wrong. But my whole point there is that job is not enough.
You have 20 years of working experience behind your belt. You have 20 years of experience in a career that has allowed you to gain raises, to get more money, to profit you in an economy that you created. You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. I don't want to work my tail end off, wasting all of my life working just to barely be able to pay my bills.
And this is the main argument that I think a lot of people are blinded by with this argument, is the fact that you hear all the time, Gen Z doesn't want to work or whatever it is. The main thing about that is it's not that they don't want to work. People want to work. They want to work because they know that's what you have to do to make money. But when they are at the behest of someone who's not paying them enough, and in a position where that is the only position they can go, but that position is not paying them enough to be able to get by, that's a sad reality. And everyone has to start somewhere. And, sometimes places don't offer raises. Sometimes it's harder for other people than others to move up in their place of work. I've known people that have applied for even just regular corporate jobs for years on end and have just now started to even get one email back. It's hard. I'm not someone that works a corporate job. I have my own business, so I'm not exactly the most well versed in this, but I've certainly heard out a lot of people that do work at coffee shops, people that work at flower shops, people that work at grocery stores, people that work at sub shops. Whenever I hear the Gen X doesn't want to work argument, let me see. I don't know why this thing just hit it. Whenever I hear the Gen X doesn't want to work argument, I think of the joke about how we should have been busy buying a house in 2008. Oh, did I read that wrong? Oh, you typed it wrong. Buying a house in 2008 instead of being children and having fun. I know. And it's it's rather crazy. The opportunity to, it's an interesting conversation because the opportunity at which is available, at which you can make X amount of money to even just simply live is not quite like this. It's more of you know what I mean? So it's you have to climb this one ladder just to be able to get to something you can maybe afford living, instead of being at climbing the ladder to be okay, I'm affording living and I'm actually feeling good about the money I'm making. When you're someone that's just trying to get a job like this. Let's continue the video though real quick.
And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years. You tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. You let it all run to hell. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
Yep. And then when you go, the thing that I just found, I just can't believe there were, I don't know if I still will be able to find them, but let's see. Oh my God, the comments are so sad. I just want to live. Millennial here. I don't blame Gen Z. I don't want to work 9 to 5. Who wants to live their whole life at work? There'll be no such thing as retirement for us. Not to mention, most jobs won't give you full time. It'll make you clock out if you get close to 40 hours. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. I once worked a job that I made $3. I think I might have even talked about this on stream before, but I once worked a job where I got paid $3 an hour. because I was working off of the fact that I would get tipped. And quite frankly, most days I would not get tipped. At least enough, I should say. On a good day, I'd get like $100 on a really good day, but that was like once in a blue moon. Most days it was like, yeah, I'd walk out $24 later after like 8 hours. Because that was at the time what it was. And it's kind of crazy to think I once did that. Now I was in a very privileged position living with my parents, and that's why that was doable. But I could not imagine that, like, even now. And I know there's a lot of like, there's another one of these big issues right now is like taxes are also high, so you get like tax taken out of so you're not even just getting like that number I showed earlier. Like, even if she is making like 15 or 20K, that's still like before taxes. Like, taxes still come out of that. People are losing a lot of money on that, and like, it's sad, dude. Another part of this too is like, I think in life you hear people talk about like the work-life balance, and there's like a huge thing out there. Everyone's like, got to make sure you're enjoying your life while doing work, or, you know, people are always like, oh, you got to go touch grass. But I straight up, I think people are getting more afraid to like touch grass, so to speak, rightfully so, because it costs money to touch grass. You know what I mean? Like, if you go out in public, and I'm not one who drinks, but if you go out and you get a drink with your friend, I mean, 2 drinks later, you're out like $20 already. You know, you go and get a meal, there's another $20, $40, gone, just like that. And like, if you're working, let's see. So if you're working, let's just say she's like 8 times, or here, 8. I'll do 8 times 12. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's insane. You're losing money by going out and having fun. That's what I'm trying to say. And so it's like people feel, because of that, I think a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, you can just stay inside all the time and save your money and be smart about your money. And there's something that I wanted to, the reason I brought this up too, right after I saw that, I landed on this video somehow. I don't know how this video came up. You can feel free to leave your opinion in this video if you want. I would say don't harm or throw him hate by any means, because he is, after all, only a 281 subscriber Andy. But he's got 1.1k views in this, so I commend him. But this guy put up this video and said why millennials are discouraged about money and why it's not boomers' fault. So let's play this video and hear this guy out a little bit. I didn't pre-watch it. I got 35 seconds in, and I don't know. This guy seems like he's around my age. He doesn't look too much older than I am. I'm 28. I can't imagine this guy's. This is the thumbnail. Why I still broke.
Money Man in a Hoodie here. Today I want to talk about discouragement, because I see a lot of people who are discouraged. I just saw a TikTok. It's from a year ago, but I still feel like it's relevant to discuss. You've heard in politics people talking about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which is more than I made at my first job. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We also hear people.
Oh my God, brother. Wow, 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 wow. Dude, my sound effect's not working. I had a bruh button that I was gonna hit. Right there, dude. Right frickin' there. Right off the bat, he's like, that's more than I made at my first job. It makes him sound blinded to the current state of the economy. If I'm assuming that he's around my age. I assume that's fair to say that he's in the age of my, he's in the same ballpark as me. So you can start working, when you're 16? Is it 17 or right? 16 or 17. So that would bring him back. I would assume more than 10 years. So the economy was different then. So that's just not a good argument right off the gates, but I'll hear him out.
That are now talking about saying that if you're making $25 an hour, you're not making enough to survive. And they pull up their spreadsheets and whatnot, and they're showing you everything that you're going to be paying for and how much it's going to cost. And they're running through the numbers.
Okay, wait. I want to know who said that. Who made the $25 an hour argument? I'm going to actually do the math this time. Okay. So if you're doing 25 an hour, 25 times 8. You're doing 8-hour days, that's 200 times, let's just say you work 5 days a week, and then that puts you at 1,000 after the week, times, let's see, so 1,000 and then times 3, right? Because then 3 weeks, 3,000, and then times that by 12, 36,000. Okay, so that would put you roughly around like 36,000. Okay, so maybe it's a little bit less than I was thinking. I thought it was gonna put us around 45K. Okay, so maybe that's a little bit different, but even if you're like a 35K Andy nowadays, I know people that are still like, I mean, you really gotta like hound yourself, and I don't know, it's just sad. You know what I mean? Like that, even that is like not enough. There's a lot of like outside of that. There's people with different circumstances. They have kids. They've got people. They've got their I'm gonna say expenses. They've got their rent. They've got their car payments. They've got like just basic life necessities. And I feel like that doesn't even do it. Like I know people that have like been shamed for making that kind of money before. I'll continue.
The numbers are a little inaccurate. I think what was it he said? The average car payment for the average household was about $400. It's actually not. It's closer to $500 if you buy a used car and $700 if you're buying a new car. But the whole thing that he's talking about here is how if you're making $25 an hour, which is about $50,000 a year.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Hang on. Did I do my math wrong? I'm gonna do my math one more time. So Ryan, are you still in here? I want someone to like cross-check me here. Okay, I'm gonna just do this again. Where did he get 50K? I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm gonna just dummy check this on stream. So okay, let's do this together. So he's at 25 an hour. So do 25 times 8. Okay, 200. And then let's just say you work 5 days a week, right? Times 5. There's 1,000. Times it by 3, assuming like the average 30 days a month, sometimes less, but we'll go a little bit ahead. 3,000. And then you times that by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. And you get 36. Am I losing my mind? Either I'm losing my mind and my math went to crap after I took the wrong math classes. I don't know. I actually stayed after school for math a lot because I wanted to be good at it.
You're not making enough to live. I'm here to tell you that's 100% horse crap.
It just seems like this guy had a hot take and went to the camera with a hot take, and maybe he meant to say 30. I'll give him a benefit of the doubt, I guess. Maybe he meant to say 30. I don't know.
But first, I want to explain why people are so discouraged. I'm not going to use his numbers because his numbers, you can do the research on them. They're not true. So we're going to do some quick research that you can Google as well. The first one that we're going to cover, like I just did, is the average car payment. The average car payment in the United States of America, if you buy a new car, is $730 a month. So we're just going to round that down to $700. So imagine $700 leaving your bank account every month, okay? We're going to write that down here, okay? Got myself my notepad. I got myself a pen. I encourage you to do the same, okay? And here's what I want you to do, okay? If you have any of these, I want you to write down what these numbers are too, because I want you to get personally excited about it. At first, you're going to be terrified, but then I want to give you some hope. All right, so the first one is $700 a month, okay? And if you have a 500, write down the 500, but a lot of people have a tendency to want to buy new things, so I'm writing down the 700. All right, so the next one, credit card.
It ends up being around 52K if you work 40 hours each week, and for all 52 weeks of the year, which sounds really painful and tiring. That's for 40 hours each week. Okay, so that's good to know.
Cards. The average American in the U.S. has about $6,000 on their credit card, and they pay, on average, about $400 a month.
And if you're working those kind of hours, I just feel like that's another thing too, is like even these kinds of hours now don't even allow you to have like your own life.
Month towards that debt, which they're not getting rid of. They're just replacing it with another $400, but we'll talk about that in a minute as well. So $400 a month also disappearing from the account. So we've already got $1,100 disappearing. Not fun. Let's talk about student loans, okay? Student loans.
Oh yeah, that was another thing that I didn't bring up. I meant to bring that up earlier when I was talking about like what things people have to pay for. I should have brought that up. Student loans. That's another massive thing that people are constantly trying to pay off.
The average payment is about $500 a month. All right, so already things are not looking super pretty. That's $1,600 disappearing out of the bank account every month. And then let's throw the last one in, which would be rent and mortgage, okay? So the rent would be about 14.
Wait a minute. Wait. Rent and mortgage. Even though that's a good thing to account for and it should be accounted for, why is he not accounting for like food or, you know what I mean? Like groceries or like basic necessities, right? Or like clothes. Right? Am I going crazy? He's like, oh, the last thing. You walk around in life naked and you don't eat.
$100 for the average in the Chattanooga area.
What if he was filming? What if he was like only showing... What if he was like only the whole video was just like this? It was like just his head. It was like from neck up. He's like, I walk around naked. I don't buy clothes. And he's like, you just... I'm not going to go any further with that. That made me laugh thinking about it.
Need to tweak a little bit one way or the other, but it's right at about $1,400 a month. And if you have a mortgage, it's
that thing that popped up when I was looking for the Colleen Ballinger video earlier.
$1,700 a month. Okay? So we've got all those numbers laid up there. Let's do some quick math. We've got 700 plus 400 is 1,100. 1,100 plus 500 is 1,600, and then 1,400 plus the 1,600 is $3,000 every month disappearing to debts and to living, to your shelter, okay? Debts and your shelter, $3,000. If you make $25 an hour, that's...
Okay, and just to get clarification on this, this video was made 4 days ago, so it's not like I mean, where did he say he lived? Didn't he say he lived in like Chattanooga or something like that? I feel like the rent must not be very high where he's from.
It's about $4,000 every month. It's a little bit bigger than that, but not by much. All right, and that still doesn't include your food.
Okay, he finally got to food. Okay.
Saying these, I want you to pause the video and write down. I want you to look back at your bank account or your receipts, your checkbook or whatever, and I want you to write down how much you're spending on these things. Okay?
Okay, I jumped the gun on that. So, yes, he does say food.
So you've got food to pay. You've got electric bills.
Okay.
You've got water.
Okay.
If you have pets, you got to pay for your pets, however much money you have to spend on your pets every month. All right, you've got car insurance.
Ooh, after after I get done talking about this subject, I have another really interesting thing I want to show you guys that I think is a kind of a cool story.
And then all of the rest goes to fund money. All right, now that doesn't really include everything, but that's a rough estimate to show you that already we have $3,000 of the $4,000 disappearing, leaving $1,000 left over for everything else. Average electric bill is probably about $100-ish a month. It's a pretty normal bill that we see is about 85 to 90 in our house. All right, so we're just going to roughly say $100. It's going to leave $900. Water.
Okay, but stop. This is the only argument that I have to this video, is that he kind of started off in a weird place, because here's the thing. The people that are majority of the people that are commenting on not being able to afford life and all that are people that are just like literally trying to just simply work. They want to simply work and they want to simply live. And they're just drained from work that's not even paying for them to live. And they're working second and third jobs and things like that because they don't even have time because their other job commitments. But he starts off saying he talks about this, even let's just live on his 52K, for example. Like, why did he, I guess I'm trying to understand, why did he start there at 52K? Right? Like, what job is the average Andy when you're applying to jobs and you're putting yourself in the work, even at some places, which is more than I even think, in corporate America, you don't even get paid 50K. Like an entry-level position in corporate America, I mean, I think I saw some for like 40, 45K. So 52K for him to start this video off with, like, as a base number. Like, he should have worked off of the idea of like 32K, or, you know what I mean? Like, that would have been a little bit more rational, like 25K. Like, at the end of the day, it's a hard argument at the end of the day, because Chipotle, McDonald's, Subway, whatever it is that you like to go to, these places need workers, right? We can't just like abandon all workers at these places and then go, oh, you go get your food. Like, some of these places have like that new McDonald's, I think, has like a robot that delivers you your food or something. And there was like a Sweetgreen I was in that has like a robot make your food. Like, I've seen that a couple times now, so I guess you can make that argument. But these places need workers after all. So there's people out there that have to be making this kind of money, like, no matter what. Like, there's always going to be people making, not, like, I don't know, unless you're like a boss, I suppose, at like some, I can't remember what I was in. I was in like a Panda Express one time, and I saw a sign that said like, come be a worker here or something, and position starts at 51K. And that was like the most I'd ever seen for like a fast food joint. And I don't even know if that was the full position. It might have been not even in Panda. It might have been like a corporate Panda position. But yeah, I don't know, like a fast food or like a Walmart or something like that would give an employee 50K for the year. I could be really wrong on that. Like I said, I don't work these kinds of jobs, so I am a little bit blinded to it. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that.
And if you include water and sewer, usually can be about $50 together. All right, so that leaves us $850. Pets, average person spends somewhere between $40 to $200 on pets every month. Car insurance can be anywhere between $75 to $150, and sometimes even more than that every month. You see how this starts to pile up, and you see how people get in this sense of defeat? It makes sense when you put all of the numbers down. There ain't much to play with here, and we haven't even got through everything. That's not a fun way to live. It's not a fun way to live, and it makes sense why people get so discouraged. But let's do something fun, okay? All right, so think about how much you spend on food right now.
Hang on.
If you're a single person or a newly married couple, you can cut that food.
I think that the main thing that I'm not fully on board with from this video is why it's not the boomers' fault. I think that's the part that's like still itching me the wrong way, because at the end of the day, the rich get richer. It's always going to be the old white guy that goes up and makes all the money and is at the top of the company and all this jazz, making the most. So the pay could be distributed better, but let's see.
Food bill down a little bit, okay? So the video that I saw of a person saying you can't make it on $25 an hour, he had $600 down as the budget for food every month. My wife and I budget $75 a week's worth, okay? So already we're looking at less money than that. We're looking at about $300. So just chop that whole bill in half. You can do that, and you can even do less. You buy ramen noodles, beans and rice, rice and beans. You've heard that before if you know anything about The Ramsay Show. If you purposely live as cheap as you possibly can, let's just say for, I don't know, let's say you live that way for 6 months, okay? You live that way for 6 months, cutting that bill in half. That's $300 extra that you have. We're not going to use that to save. We're not going to do any types of saving stuff. We're going to knock out that credit card, okay? You knock out that credit card. All of a sudden, you don't have $1,000 a month to do all of the other things with. You now have $1,400. It's pretty nice, isn't it? But we're not done yet. We're going to take the next smallest one, and we're going to knock that out. If you have a car and your car is too high, I believe it is if your car payment is, I think it was a half or more of your regular monthly income, and it's probably a little bit less. It may be closer to a third, but definitely if it's one half, if half of your monthly income is going to the car, or if you're going to be stuck in this car for a ridiculously long time and if this car is still worth something.
One thing I didn't hear him bring up, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, and I've felt a lot of sympathy for these people lately, but there's a lot of people with chronic illness, a lot of people who have different disabilities, people who have health conditions that are out of their control, that they have in America insane health bills they have to cover. And I didn't hear him scratch on that, and I don't want to be the guy nitpicking, but people have health bills out the wazoo. And I think that's important to remember when you're talking about things like this, because I know people that just a health bill alone is making it so that they have to be oh, can I even barely eat this month, or you know what I mean? So I think that is something that I hope he scratches on that at some point in this. That I know that's another big thing that holds people back, and another big thing is disability can oftentimes, even when you get to a position where you can make this kind of money, that is, let's just say the $52K. Let's just say you do have that position. Well, sometime, or you don't have it, but it's in, the general vicinity. I know disability holds people back from opportunity. So he's kind of coming from an opportunist mindset here, I guess. And again, I don't want to rip him too much just because, again, he's not a big YouTube or anything, and I don't want to be tearing him, but I don't know. I like talking about this kind of thing. I think it's an interesting conversation to have.
Sell the car, buy a cheap junk car. If you can, buy it from somebody that you trust so that you know that you're not buying a junk car, and then pay that sucker off. And then guess what? You have an extra $700 a month. You see how this starts to work? you start to free up all of this money, you purposely go after these debts, things become a lot more hopeful. This is why I did the cup example with poking holes in the cups. You're able to do a lot more when you don't have holes in your cups.
Huh?
And as you notice, you start to get more hopeful. To remind you guys of my story, I made a living off of $24,000 a year. I found the cheapest apartment in the area that I could afford. The absolute cheapest apartment I found in the area where I was when I got out of school.
Brother, it was different times. My God, this is the boomer argument. This is the same thing. This is the exact same argument.
$500 a month. Okay? It was cheap, okay? It was basically a studio.
Catchword was.
All right? Not a fancy one either. Like, this was an old motel, you know, the old little motel, an old motel with, I think it was 30 rooms in total.
Oh, I wonder if I still have...
Turned into an apartment complex. Cheap as cheap can get. $500.
Okay, but let me show you what people today are saying. Not this, not the thumbnail. Look at this video here. Look at the title. I've been watching this video like a few times. This girl made this video, Eva Zubek. She made this video talking about why she had to leave the U.S. And in this video, she goes over... Let's see if I can even find it now. This right here. There's a section where, let's see.
Absolutely no way that I knew that buy. It's completely unaffordable. How can anyone buy property in the United States? It's ridiculous.
$895K. Now this place does seem like it's, very unique. So I think the uniqueness of it is making it cost a lot, but still.
Knew that, of course, buying property is a big investment, but real estate
$585K for the lot of corn, brother. That's insane.
Prices in the United States are so prohibitive that there is absolutely no...
Now, while this girl is kind of looking at ridiculous houses here, it's okay, but if you do go on Zillow...
No way that I would be able to afford buying anything like what I dream of.
She's talking about her dreams, right? She's trying to fulfill her own American dream. Her whole thing is she couldn't achieve her dreams. I'll let you guys watch that video on your own. It's just a video that I've been watching, little pieces and stuff of. But back to the original video. Let's see what this guy had to say.
$100 a month. I didn't have car loans because I bought a cheap 2200 car and took care of it. I didn't have school loans because I worked my butt off to get scholarships, and then I worked my butt off at a job part-time that became full-time in order to pay in cash for said education. So I didn't have that. I didn't have that $500. I didn't have credit card payments, so I didn't have that $400. I didn't have a car loan, so I didn't have that $700. I had money to play with, and guess what? I was able to save $300 a month while making $24,000 a year. You can freaking do it.
Come on. What's this guy's? Come on. 1 out of 1. Oh, come on, brother. My whole thing is having to live cheaply just be able to breathe a sigh of relief that you've survived another month. Not factoring in unexpected events is... Let's see. Not factoring in unexpected events is wild. It doesn't feel like living. Yeah, I know. I'm a little shocked that he didn't factor in, getting sick or, you know what I mean? Especially in a time like now. I want to do a quick instant replay of that moment. That was awesome. Let's see here. Here we go.
I had money to play with, and guess what? I was able to save $300 a month while making $24,000 a year. You can freaking do it. But you've got to
Why do they play this argument? Brother, it was different times. I mean, the poor guy, I feel bad for him now. He's probably just like blinded to what it was like for a lot of people do this, dude. If I ever do this, I want someone to like immediately comment and tell me that I did it, because I've done it in the past, but I've at least like learned from it now. It's so easy to speak on your personal experience and act like that's the case for everybody. Everyone's different. I will always live by this. Everybody is different. Everyone's their own unique person, has their own circumstances. One thing is that's easier for someone is harder for another. It's always going to be the case, no matter what. I'm going to continue playing this here, Milo.
And decide to change your habits. And once you do that, you're going to start to see successes. Knockout. Let me tell you this right now, okay? If this is inspiring to you or terrifying to you, let's do this. Sit down with all of your debts, put them out on the table, look at all of your expenses. See, make sure you know where every penny went last month, and do everything you can to make all of those cheaper, okay? Make every single one of those cheaper that you are able to make cheaper.
Yeah, you know what? He's got the whole I had 300. Like, I know people who had to die, so had to spend 500 on inhalers and insulin. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. To literally save their life, to be able to frickin' breathe. Like, I'm going to do a quick instant replay. Hang on. Let's see.
Know where every penny went last month, and do everything you can to make all of those cheaper.
Yeah, you know, I cannot imagine, like, watching this. I was almost going to make a joke about it, but I can't even, like, joke about it. I was going to, like, make a, like, not a joke about it, but, like, I was going to make a sarcastic joke, but I can't even do it. He's like, make it cheaper. You know, next time you're at the car dealership, tell them you want your car a little cheaper a month. You know, next time you get hit with that hospital bill, tell them you want it cheaper. Next time you get food, argue with the guy at the grocery store. Tell him you want those eggs cheaper. Oh yeah, when you buy those pants next time, just bug the shit out of the workers. Tell them you want it cheaper. Like, what is this argument that you can just suddenly make things cheaper? This might be the worst argument against us I've ever seen. Where did this come from? Am I losing my mind?
Okay, make every single one of those cheaper that you are able to make cheaper. And then go after that smallest one. Make minimum payments on everything else. Let's say that smallest one is a credit card, okay? First thing you're going to do is you're going to put that credit card down, and you're not going to use it again, okay? Follow the Dave Ramsey baby steps. $1,000 in emergency money. Make minimum payments on everything until you have $1,000 in emergency money sitting there, and then anything over $1,000, throw it at the credit card. And then you don't have credit card payments anymore. And then not only do you have extra money, but you have hope. You have just experienced something that you've not experienced yet. You've experienced a victory. You're not falling behind anymore. You're getting ahead. You just made progress. If you're drowning in debt, guess what? You just made progress paying off one of those debts. It is possible, but you got to change your life. You got to.
Wait, so is his argument that, and I might be wrong on this front, but is his argument that it's how you organize your money? Is that what he's getting at? Like, if you pay off your debt in this fashion and you keep this X money aside without spending it, you're going to be okay? That's kind of what I just got from that, but it's like, it's not like everyone's thing. I hope I'm not interpreting that wrong. I am neurodivergent after all, but I hope I didn't interpret that wrong. Let me see. Does he say? Yeah, let me see what else he says.
Change your habits. You got to decide to do things differently, and it can be done. I'm the example of how it can be done. Saving that $300 a month, I was able to pay for the honeymoon and another used car, a $5,000 used car.
Honeymoon haver. used car haver. Dude, that's crazy. Ha ha. That is insane, brother. Most people
car in cash, and a few years later, we bought another $4,500 car in cash. You can do it. You just got to decide that it's worth it. That's all I got for you for now, guys. Let me know in the comments.
Okay, let me know. He goes, let me know in the comments. I feel like they ripped him a new a-hole in the comments. Because look at what the comments are saying. Most people living below the poverty line aren't spending more than $200 a month paying for a new car. You're forgetting that we have expenses like medical bills, child, home repairs. I see the vision, but the execution feels weird. Yeah, it does. Cutting back is fine, but there are plenty of people who are already living bare bones every day and still can't. Yeah, that was what I said. Inflation and wealth distribution via taxation is as bad as it's ever been. It's only getting worse. Yep. Costs of living keep skyrocketing while wages are going down. And just eat. And that's the thing. People are literally doing this, eating beans and ramen. Never mind the severe long-term health implications of such a poor diet and the fact that affordable. And that's another thing, too. When you start to narrow out your budget and as far as what you're spending on eating, you will notice that you're in, not every circumstance, but in a lot of cases, you will notice that the healthier foods cost more. The not-so-healthy foods cost less, and you will start eating the not-so-healthy foods, and you will lack things like the proper protein you need or the proper vitamins you need and things like that, and you will feel like yourself sort of decaying, which is a sad reality. But let's see. No one I know my generation has a pension because jobs don't, and that's another thing. How many boomers you hear talking about oh yeah, I got my 401k now. And you're like, okay, nice, brother. They don't even offer that anymore. Let me see. And then think Social Security will still be worth anything by the time you're retired. No, you're paying for boomers' retirement. By the time you reach the age, $1 will be worthless and all the money will be gone because it's a pyramid. Okay, well, that's a bit of a stretch. Pyramid scam. I thought it said scheme. Millennial have to compete with megacorp like BlackRock and Street, who buy up all the real estate and land. Your $1,700 a month mortgage number is total BS. This video has a few useful pieces of advice. My mortgage is less than my car. Just saying, rent is twice what I pay on the house. I like how there's a video here recommended the truth about millennials. If you're on a tight budget, you don't start with a $700 car payment. As expensive one for starters. You start with your rent and your food and your clothing, your medical expenses, and you figure out your transportation situation. Yeah, that was what I was talking about too, like your food and your clothing and medical expenses. Why don't I disagree? You never once mentioned after tax. Oh, while I don't disagree with you, some people, my point is you aren't yet at the place where the average American can move in our society. The majority of millionaires are at first generation wealthy, and most common jobs is teachers. People do this all the time, and it blows my mind how many in the comments would rather blame the government, inflation, interest rates, instead of taking control of their own money so they can live it better. Taking control of their own money. But that's not, he makes the argument that you can just take control of your money like that. Some people, their money is literally out of their control because of their circumstances, which is, I feel like, a good majority of people now. Like, I quite honestly, and again, I'm just speaking from my own experience right now. This is not an everyone case. But a lot of people I know have, some pretty bad health conditions, and are constantly paying for them, and they're going to hospital visits, things like that cost a lot of money. There's few people I know. I'm luckily not one with a lot of health things, let alone I don't really go to the doctor because I've been very fortunate in that case. There's a few people I know that are like that. But I just found this to be we saw that TikTok video that I showed before this. I don't know. This whole thing just felt like you said, the execution felt weird. Now, I guess here's where I can offer some advice. If you are someone who does not, maybe you you don't have a disability that's holding you back from working. You are working a job that might not be paying you enough, or maybe it's just barely getting you and you want to make more money. If you are in a position to do so, and again, this is not everyone. This is if you have the right circumstances in front of you, and you do have things in your control. A good way to make some side cash, and it's obviously been said before, but is to like start your own side business. I think people lose sight oftentimes of like what is worth value. Like I've had friends hit me up and be like, I'm like, oh, so like, what are you into or whatever? And they're like, oh, I'm kind of into drawing. And then they'll be like, yeah, but normally I'm just like working my desk job, like making like 40K. And I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, do you ever think about like selling your art? They're like, no, I'm not good enough. Or they're like, no, no one wants it. And then I'll like go to their house and see it. And dude, there's people like this, and I'll be like, yo, if I ever had the kind of money to pay you like 50K for this right now, I would do that. Like these people have things like that they don't realize the worth of it. And I'm like, you got to realize your own worth. Like you might be at home and like, I don't know, like someone's like knitting together like some shirts or something, but not realize that like that's a business. You can definitely make, and some people also, I get it if you're the kind of person that's like, I don't want to make it a business, but you can, even if you don't and you need the side money, you can always, there's always like, there's social media, there's your local, your family, people buy stuff off you. So I do want to put that reminder out there that, again, if you're in the position to do so and you have the time and you have the privilege, you have the kind of like money and you have the right access to do this kind of thing, then I would suggest looking into it. You don't have to do, like, oftentimes hearing a business sounds scary, right? It's like, oh, a business, oh, so scary. But just don't let that label scare you. You don't have to do it on a big businesswoman scale kind of thing. You can do all sorts of different things. There's ways you can. There was a thing I got into for a little bit during COVID, and I was actually into this when I was like 16. It's a thing called retail arbitrage. When I first heard of it in that term, it sounded like stealing. It sounded awful, but it's not. It's a thing where you buy something at like Target, let's say, and you have to be smart about it. Like you can do it on a small or large scale. I did it as a small scale, my piggy bank money as a kid. But I would do it with things as small as like $10 worth. But it's basically a thing where you like go into like retail arbitrage specifically is like you go into Walmart and you buy like, let's just use a small thing, for example, like a pencil. And then you go on eBay and then you maybe like, I don't know, you take that pencil and you wouldn't do this exactly with a pencil. I'm just using it as a dummy example. You sell that pencil on eBay for like $4 when you bought it for $2 at Target and you make more on that. People buy it. Like the example I'll use when I was a kid, I had some like really old projector. I don't know why or where it came from. But I got I think I bought it at one point from, I don't even remember. But anyway, I had it and it was like a $30 or $40 projector. And I managed to sell it on eBay for like $120. I listed it properly. I put the right barcode, all that thing. Someone bought it. Like there's always someone out there that will buy something like that. And you may not see the vision, but the vision, is there. There's other people that are like, oh yeah, that is worth that. And they'll buy it. This whole situation is crazy. What situation? Oh, Panda Man. Oh, are you talking about the Jake situation? Jake and Nick situation? Maybe you just hopped in here. Yeah, I was covering that situation a while back. If you were talking about the Nick and Jake situation, which one are you talking about? The Jake situation? Yeah, I would suggest that maybe like after stream or later on. I appreciate you hopping in here, Panda man. Thanks for appreciate you being here. I'd highly suggest you check out the earlier part in my stream where I talked about it. I'm someone who's in relatively, I don't want to say like I'm like a close or good friend of theirs or a homie or whatever, but I've worked with Jake before, and I've also like met Nick in real life twice. So that's kind of why I talked about it. So I would strongly urge you go watch that part of it, part of my stream. But what I was talking about was this video and this whole thing, and I was just kind of offering like my advice to people who are all right, I'm going to watch it. Yeah, you should, like after stream, or even if you want to scroll back now, if YouTube lets you scroll back now. But what I was kind of just right now going off, because I just finished watching that video that says, why are millennials discouraged about money? And I was showing a TikTok. I had just got done showing this TikTok right here of this girl who got chewed alive on TikTok for complaining about her moolah and not making enough as a millennial. But I was just kind of offering advice for making like side cash if you have the means to do so. So yeah, don't ever lose sight of like your own strengths, if you will, I guess. And some material goods that you have, you might be able to like, something as simple as like you might have a white shirt, but maybe you're like really good at, I keep using drawing, but like maybe you're good at drawing and you draw like some cool little logos on a $2 shirt. Now you sell a shirt for $10. I don't know. Maybe you go over to your friend's house and you rake their leaves for them. Maybe you mow the neighbor's lawn if you can. That's what I'm saying. These things are all within, if they're within your means, don't lose sight of like things that you're capable of if you are in the position to do so. And I get it. Like I said, some people just aren't, unfortunately don't have, that. And to that, I feel bad. And I think those people deserve, opportunity, in some fashion or another. If not opportunity, then definitely something to make up for that so that they can continue to live. But next thing that I wanted to talk about, which I actually still have to pull up here. This was a very, very interesting story. And I'm not just saying that for like retention or whatever it is. This was quite an eye-opening story that I saw today. Let's see here. See if I can find it. Here we go. Oh, here, wait. I searched the wrong account. Here it is. See if I can find it. Okay. So, here it is. There was this video that went.
Say hello.
This video kind of popped off on Twitter today. Not just the video, but it kind of like resurfaced when a thing on Twitter was shared about this, and I'll get there. But this video is called "Being Ugly: My Experience," and it's a 23-minute video, so I don't want to play the whole thing, but I'll just play part of it so you guys can see the whole video later. But
so first of all, this is my microphone. It's quite broken, and I've been drinking a lot of this right now, so I'm sort of drunk, and I'm feeling really down, like extremely down, and I will tell you why. It's 'cause my entire life I've been treated quite bad. I should also say like this is a warning. My English is not that good, and like I'm just I feel really alone, and I felt like I was gonna search YouTube for people with the same issue as me, and that is being.
Jake was right. It was the beginning of the downfall. Jake was, it was the beginning of the downfall of H3. Yeah, and I guess that was something else that I didn't. I'll just pop out of the screen real quick. You were an H3 fan till recently. That was something else that I didn't discuss, I guess, about that I should bring up is while like I think I did bring this part up though, while I did see kind of where he was coming from and how his message didn't get across in the way that it should have. But while that happened, I think it's important to remember that, like, whatchamacallit, I'm drawing a blank now. Health conditions are something that should not be like laughed at or poked fun at or anything like that. But I think the main thing here to remember is that a lot of people, oh my God, this was a huge point I should have brought up. Okay. So while a lot of people use, like, people have health anxiety. Health anxiety is a very real thing, especially in America. No, and Ethan shouldn't have been joking about having lupus. Yeah. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, that was the other end of it that I didn't talk about. Is like, Jake literally showed the donations from people. I know that was pretty crazy. He showed like all these. If he actually has health anxiety. Yeah. So that was the thing. So, how do I put this? So people who have health anxieties, like a lot of them. I even have like personal friends that are like this. I've been to like comedy shows where people have this. I've been to family events where people use it as like a lot of people with health anxiety use humor as a coping mechanism for it. Rightfully so, and oftentimes not done in a harmful way. Now, I understand that is subjective, because to a lot of people, any joke when it comes to health matter is off limits completely. And I do understand that. He also lost a shit ton of weight from Ozempic. He's not being honest about that. His weight loss could have affected it. He should have made it private from the start. His weight loss could have affected it. Wait, what are you talking about, Ethan? But yeah, so people use humor to cope with it. And I very much understand that. He's not being honest about what could it. There's a stream. I would spilt bong water. I would highly suggest. There's a couple of the Ethan videos. There's the H3. There's the H3 video that is on the stream, that is on the channel, and then there's the Ethan's basement video where Ethan debriefs on it. Ethan has lost a lot of weight recently. I don't think he talked about his weight that I can remember. I kind of have fallen off of watching H3. I've been watching it here and there. But I don't remember a stream where he's talking about, like, I remember him talking about the weight loss, but I don't remember like him talking about the medication and health side of it. He was before when we had a trainer. Okay, yeah, so maybe I missed that part of it, but let's see, he lost. Yeah, so I do remember the weight loss thing. I remember that now, but anyway, watch the H3, watch that, and watch Ethan debriefing on it. He actually did talk about how he was being very honest with it, and Hila was talking about that as well. Especially in the reaction to the Jake video, they talked about it. He was someone his diet before and how hard it was when he stopped. And when he started losing weight. I can't watch Ethan calling Jake a bitch for 2 hours. Yeah, I know. I'll admit, that was a little bit hard for me to watch too. While this was something I had brought up earlier. And I had said that, I openly said that I think Jake knew this going into the video, because I was watching Jake's, to this day, I'm still going to watch all of Jake's content, tune into all his live streams. He's a cool dude. Because he's someone that I've worked with before too. But in one of Jake's live streams, Jake had openly stated that he could get shit on. Jake kind of knew it could go one of two ways. They were ruthless and mean to someone. That is another thing. There was a lot of punch downs in that, and another argument I saw online was that does that mean he deserves it? No, I don't. That's what I was kind of trying to say at the beginning of this. It's a weird one, because like I said, Jake had good intentions to begin with. The subreddit, that's what I said at the beginning of this. Yeah, the subreddit was gross. I was really strict on the talking about relentlessly, and mods were doing it too. Yeah, I was really, really uptight on that conversation at the very front of this live stream about the harassment, and how I don't want him to get harassed, and how I just don't I just don't think he needs that harassment or needs any of that, because it's sad. He's a good dude. He means well. He's a relatively new content creator. He certainly has learned from this. And I think he like I said, watch the beginning of this stream. I think I said it again, I'll say it again, but I think he meant well. His heart is in a good place. I know the guy. He's a cool dude. It's just, I know he's getting bullied relentlessly. But you didn't talk about the extent of the harassment in his face. Yeah, because I actually, I only saw a few comments on the video before he deleted it. I didn't get to dive deep into his comment section. I saw a few things on the H3 subreddit going crazy, but I didn't see anything nah, I'll read it on my own private time. I'm not going to read it on stream. If I read it on stream, it's only going to contribute to people maybe either going there or people reading it and then, running after him. I don't want to hurt him. Yeah, so I'll read. Don't defend Ethan. I mean, that's the thing though. I don't even feel any type of way about H3 anymore. I used to be a big die hard for H3. I would be out in public talking to my friends about it and be like, "Oh my god, did you see what happened on H3 today?" But I put H3 on the last H3 I watched was that reaction to the Jake video, and before that I don't think I saw the last 4 episodes ish, 5 episodes. So I don't even really, I'm not a fan of H3 really. I'm just oh, sometimes I'll see it on, kick it on, watch it for the news. Please watch all her videos, including the one about mysterious lies. Wait, which video? Whose videos? Also here, wait, I'm gonna get back on topic here real quick. I'll come back. I'll circle. Let's see. All the ones regarding Ethan, Paige Christie. I didn't even know there were videos about this. I had no idea. Okay. Noted. I'm just going to screenshot that real quick. Okay. I'll check those out later on my own time. And that's not, at the end of the day, I just want Jake to be safe. That's what I'll say. Let's continue. I'm gonna continue this video that I was at. I got sidetracked answering questions. So this video is called "Being Ugly: My Experience," and to quickly, I'm just gonna debrief on this.
Now artificial intelligence can generate ad creative.
No, I don't want to hear about AI. No. That's not what I came. Okay.
So
this video right here was a video of this guy talking about like his own appearance. He said he was. He said he called himself ugly. He said his nose is this, his hair, and he's basically talking about how he like has issues with women, all these kinds of things, right? And then I'll go to the most replayed part for you guys.
I didn't have it easy, and that's when I first met the first girl in my life that wanted to be with me. And I spent 7 years with that girl, and I regret it very much, because that was a girl that treated me so badly and was just using me. She called me ugly. She forced me to walk 5 to 10 meters behind her. She'd never hold my hand. She never kissed me. She never did anything to show appreciation of me. She just simply used me. And it was not a good relationship. She never cared about me. She was always angry, aggressive. And for the first half year, she didn't really want to be in an actual relationship with me. She just wanted to be with me. We had sex and we had fun, I guess, sorta. Except when we went outside, when I was forced to go behind her. And then we went into a relationship, and she did everything for, I think it was 3 or 4 years. She forgot my birthday.
Oh my god.
She was cheating on me. She was flirting with other guys online.
Holy moly.
I always did everything I could. When I gave her 20 minutes massages on her back every day. Even though I was sick, I am sick in my body as well. Like I'm not gonna take that up right now because it's not that major. But back then it was when it sort of started, so I was not really feeling that well. I was weak. I was sad. But I gave it my all. I tried to be a good boyfriend.
This is a really interesting story, by the way.
I bought her presents when I had money. I spent my time with her. I altered my personality for her she wouldn't feel that it was weird. I tried my best to be the perfect I could, and she always told me, "You're not enough," or like, "You're not good enough," or things like that. She always told me that. And this is how it was for about 3 years, or 4 years. Then I moved, and she didn't move with me. She was like, "It's not worth it. If you move, it's over." So I moved. It was over. And then she started calling me. And
if you move, it's over. She gave him his ticket out.
You should take me back, because you are unlovable. I remember those words so clearly. You are unlovable. That's the worst thing I ever felt. And I was like, screw this. Nope. And I was alone in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in the woods. It's a movie, I know, but I was literally living in a...
That's like the worst thing you can be told. It's gonna stick with you forever.
Cabin. I have an actual video of it when I recorded, like, back then, because I have other YouTube channels. This is a new thing, but like those are for gaming and stuff like that. Anyway, I was living in a cabin for 4 to 5 months all alone. And she called me, it was after like a few weeks, the first month. She was like, "Take me back, you're unlovable, you should be with me." I was like, "Nope." And that's the first time I started writing again with new girls. It had been 3 years, or almost 4. I had lost weight. I had started exercising more. I was a bit stronger. Things were a little bit easier, like living
easy.
And I was also developing my alcoholic problem. I mean, you can't say alcoholic because it's not that bad, but like I was drinking a lot. Anyway, I lived in that cabin, and I started writing with new people in my area, which was really not many. I had to like take the closest town.
Okay.
It was an hour away, but like I
this video particularly has a crazy turn to it, so stay tuned.
managed to find a girl there, and by that time I met her. We were just friends. It was chill. She was actually a terrible human being. She was like, she only cared about money, how people look. She wanted to have a guy that took care of her and all that. So I didn't really feel anything for her. We were just friends. But in the end, she was 17 and I was 20. So it was like sort of, so like, I remember
Okay, right. I feel like that, and this doesn't really pertain to the story particularly, but I feel like that 17 to 20 thing is kind of like what he said. It's kind of like, If it was like 18, 20, I'd be like, okay. But like the 17 feels weird to me still. Maybe not to others, but to me personally. But again, to each their own.
bought lots of alcohol to her, and she was like, keep some of this, we're gonna use this later. And so I kept some of it, and she then one time visited me in the woods. She spent her night with me, and we laughed, we drank, we had fun, and we had sex. And that's the first time I felt accepted in, like, I felt like I had hope in my life. I really felt like there is hope for me, like there's someone for everyone. I really felt like there are people that will look past your appearance, and that's sort of right. There are people out there who will look past how you look and be with you even if you're unattractive. And it doesn't even matter to what degree of unattractive you are, because there will be girls that will not really care. The problem is finding them, which is I would say that depends on the country. If you're in a country with extremely lots of tourism, extremely good economy, everyone are decently rich, like everyone are decently beautiful, all that, maybe it's time to look into future plans and move to another place where you can find more unattractive people, because that's sort of what you want. Anyway.
That's what you want. Okay. Now, remember, this video is 5 years old. And I'm just kind of playing it through without giving too much reaction to it, just so you guys can get the story. But I'm gonna fast forward. So basically, I'll kind of debrief it. So, yeah. Anyway, this guy kind of goes down like a whole thing of, I think you get where he's going with this. He's very like upset about his appearance. He talks about he might need to get surgery and blah blah blah, and he just doesn't feel that good about himself. And so here's the post I saw today. This dude uploaded a video 5 years ago titled "Being Ugly: My Experience." A random girl commented saying he was cute. They met up and ended up getting married. Look at this. Here's her comment. I actually think you're kind of cute, to be honest. I mean it. The comment is pinned on that video. Like, look at this. Boom. Right there. I want to see, what was his response? Oh my, wait. Oh, this is another, it was just the, oh, there's more. Wait. What did he comment at the time? Let's see. And they ended up getting married. So after all, you know, this is, I think this is this is like one of the craziest stories I've heard. Woman engaged after forgetting him due to brain. Happy ending. So yeah, I don't know. Just a positive little love story for you guys. And look, here's a photo of them, as a matter of fact. This is them. Let's see, I'll pull up another photo. This is them at their wedding. Looks like bro fixed himself up, too. It's heartwarming to see he got a happy ending. Yeah, look at this. It looks like he fixed his hair up. Bro might have, like, worked out a little bit. I don't know what else. Like, I don't know. This is, like, people should look at this as, thing to not lose hope, you know? I mean, I even look at this like, don't lose hope. There's people out there. There's always going to be like someone for you if that's what you're going for. There is hope out there after all in a world that feels so hopeless, but yeah, don't ever like discount yourself and be too hard on yourself, because after all, this guy did make this video, and like I think at points he was kind of even being like, yep, like some women will just shoot you down and blah blah blah. And while that's, you know, I think it's easy to say that stuff, but again, you can have this situation too. So yeah, that's just freaking nuts. Dude, she's freaking gorgeous too. So, you know, just because you might think you're ugly doesn't mean you can't have a pretty lady in your life or whatever. That's what he thought. He literally like posted this and that was what he thought. So don't think that ever, folks. Always remember. Please always remember that. Look at this. Someone wrote, the right one is out there. You just got to find it. So I think that's a good way to end stream tonight. I always have, dude, I'm good with these. If you guys want to, here, I'll do my famous stream ending thing. I always like to leave you guys with like a video or a channel to watch. I'll show you another. I'm letting you in on my little endeavors on YouTube and what I'm up to. I'm letting you in. Okay. Here's what I've been watching lately. You ready? Sally Rohan. I've been watching her videos. Okay, I'm subscribed to my other channel, on my commentary channel. I'll subscribe on this one too. But yeah, my commentary channel is where I've been checking out her stuff. But I first found her, even though her videos don't have anything to do with me, I just find them really interesting. She's talking about like medical school, which is interesting. I don't know, something I'm not interested in personally, but I'm open to hearing like the perspective of like a medical school student and what they go through. And I don't know. And then she found her own cancer in medical school, so then she had like cancer surgery. This was a really hard watch. Thyroid can't like this, yeah. And then she was kind of like bawling her eyes out in this video. I didn't get to quite watch yet today. I was gonna watch it as I go to bed, but yeah, I don't know. I think she's doing some cool stuff. Really, really cool channel. Mika's Rhetoric. I'll leave you off on one more channel too. Mika's Rhetoric. This is also someone who I've been watching lately. I would go check out Mika's channel. I've been watching Mika's videos. I spend a lot of time on my commentary channel. It's my skate channel I'm logged into over here. So it looks like there's no like watches on here. I've been watching on my commentary channel. So go check out Mika's Rhetoric. Mika also goes live. Plenty of lives. Does like planning streams and things like that have been fun to watch. So yeah. That's what I'm leaving you guys off with today. We had a long stream tonight. What do we do? 2 hours? Okay. We doing the thing. We had a couple of people in here tonight, so I appreciate that. I almost like hit the own strike thing on here. Let's see. I hit the wrong button. Participants, we got Ryan and Spilt Bong Water in here still. Thank you very much for coming. Maria, thank you for coming. Number 23, I appreciate you for coming. Slipper House, extra, thank you for coming. Panda Man, also thank you for coming. Appreciate you guys, as always. If you enjoyed the stream, you like what we're up to, feel free to subscribe. I might let you in on something else. I might try to stream tomorrow during the day. I might even try to stream a little bit earlier because I work in the evening. So I might, let's see. Tomorrow I work in the evening, so I might stream midday tomorrow to see if there's any like guests that come in during the day, and maybe they'll be nighttime watchers. So If I find some interesting news on the internet, I'll hop in during the day. But the next stream, let's see. I may or may not be on Sunday. I'm not sure yet. But I'll be on probably Monday night or Tuesday night. So, yeah, my goal is to stream as much as I can. I wish I could like lock myself down to days. Maybe I'll start working on that, like creating a schedule. But I appreciate you, Ryan. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Yeah, maybe Monday evening I'll try to. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe like Monday evening. If I get back, I'm driving out of state that day. If I get back from being out of state in time, I'll stream Monday night. If not, then no Monday stream. Then I'll do Tuesday stream. But so right now it's like a maybe for Sunday or Monday. But tomorrow in the afternoon I'll be on. So I know people watching the VODs after the fact too. So it's very nice. Appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks again.